I never was accused of anything like this.
The fact that I am on the Steve Wilkos Show makes me feel angry. She literally body checked us. So I had to show my boobs, pull them up and everything, and she put her hands around, it's demeaning. And because I was demeaned that way, there's no way that I could possibly be your friend.
Last week, I got a call from Tempria asking if I would like to ride with her to Jennifer's house, which is in North Carolina. She's my goddaughter, and I'm very proud of her. She's an ex-Marine. She's a very smart individual. She didn't know I was coming because I wanted to surprise her, so I told her I wasn't coming.
She was happy that she was there, so I didn't think anything else about it.
Me and Tempria walked inside the house, and we wanted to go upstairs. She said, no. She said, wait until Bernard straightens up upstairs. So we stayed downstairs for like an hour and a half or so, just talking and playing with the baby. Me and Jennifer went upstairs first. When I approached her bedroom door, just looking in, I thought I saw a white envelope on the bed. The baby threw up on Jennifer and the comforter.
The baby got sick. We stripped the bed down. We was doing our usual, enjoying each other's company, watching TV.
She gathered up the comforter for the wash, and that was the end of that. We were in her bedroom talking. Her friend Bernard came into the bedroom. He came on my side of the bed where she has a shelf with the liquor on, and he took it and he left. She didn't say anything until 7 o'clock that morning. She woke Tempria up because she has to find an envelope that Bernard had gave her.
Woke up the next morning with her asking me if I can get up so that she could look behind the bed. And that's when I found out about there was an envelope, there was money.
The rent wasn't due until 2 weeks. So she told him not to give it to her.
I said to her, I don't believe that it was $1,000 in the envelope. I even asked her, did you look in the envelope to see if it was $1,000? She told me, no, I didn't look in the envelope to see if it was $1,000. So how do you know that there was really money in that envelope?
Bernard came in, took the whole mattress up off the bed to look and see if it had slid underneath the bed or whatever. No envelope.
I know I didn't steal my own money. It doesn't benefit me any way whatsoever. The next morning I woke up and Jennifer was banging on the door telling me that the money was missing, and basically all hell broke loose.
He became very threatening and demeaning, more to me than to Linda, because I think most of his anger is towards me. About a year ago, me and Jennifer were roommates, and he kept saying it's a setup. She wants me to be out, and she wants to move back in. Talked about he was gonna go get a gun, and then when I told him that I was gonna call my friend to come up here because I felt a little threatened by him, he was like, if a car pulls up in front of this house, I'm going to shoot out the windows.
I did say out loud that I own a gun and I own a rifle and I do hunt, but I never threatened anyone. If it was two men that did this, we'd have closed the door and had it out right then and there. It would have been no problem whatsoever to knock each other around, do whatever we have to do to hash it out, get the money found. But with them being women, all I could do was yell.
That man slammed doors. He was horrible. He threatened us. The whole night.
I took a lie detector test. And today, we're gonna find out that they stole the money and I did not. I went and sold my PlayStation 5 to give her part of the money back. Why would I sell anything to get the money if I already had the money? Well, I didn't know these two women at all. So I don't have any reason to trust them. And honestly, I still believe that they stole the money. All I know is that when the money went missing, they were in the room. Now, maybe one person stole it, but both of them benefited.
I love her and I would never do nothing like that to her. If I needed money, I would ask her. First, I'm not gonna take from her. I don't take from anyone. I wasn't brought up that way. You know, I always been there for you. And if you ever need me again, and I'm being honest, I'm gonna have to think about it. I'm gonna have to ask God to change my heart, because he has to do that right now, because I'm hurt. I'm hurting.
Jennifer, you believe someone very close to you stole $1,000, right?
Yes, Steve. The next morning I woke up, I was like, let me go ahead and put that money in the bank. So on Saturday when we get up, I don't have nothing to do. I went upstairs and the money wasn't there. So I was like, everybody get up now. We're gonna go ahead and flip this mattress and look for it. We couldn't find it. We looked around the bed, everywhere, couldn't be found.
How you doing, Tempura?
Good morning, Steve. How are you today?
Good. Well, what do you want to say to Jennifer?
I'm upset that I am here taking a lie detector test over $1,000. We've been friends for too long for this. Stealing from her is basically like stealing from her son. That's not the type of person that I am. My mother didn't raise me that way. And I'm just here to prove to her that I couldn't do it. Did I lift up my top part to let you see there's no cash under my boots? I sure did. I sure did, because I am not a thief, and I'm going to let you check everything. Did I pull my pants down? No. That's more than being insane.
I'll say this. You know, at this stage of our life, Tempura, I would find it a little humiliating if I was staying at a friend's house and they said, hey, Steve, we think you stole money. Take your clothes off. I mean, I'm not a thief either. And I got to tell you, I'd probably say, no, I'm not taking my damn clothes off. Linda, did you take Jennifer's money?
No, I did not take my goddaughter's money. And she know I take her money.
Yeah. You ever steal from her before?
No, I would never steal from Jennifer. That's my baby girl.
Yeah.
That was the first time I visited her since she's been south.
Yeah.
The very first time.
When you hear Jennifer say that if she was inclined to suspect who took the money, she would pick that you stole the money.
She knows that too.
Well, I'm just reiterating.
Okay.
I'm asking. What do you feel about that?
Jennifer, do you actually think that I'll leave?
Like I said, I didn't blame any one of you, ladies or gentlemen. What I said is that the sequence of events that happened that weekend, and what I can remember and recollect, you was on the bed. You the only one that said you saw an envelope, but then you turned around and said you didn't see an envelope. But how did you see an envelope on the bed if it was under a pillow? So how did you even see one in the first place?
Because I didn't say it was
that
under
was
the
my
pillow.
case.
When I walked into your room, it was an envelope on the bed, not under a pillow. All right?
I don't know.
I just want to say one thing. You done made too many lies, and you keep telling lies. You can't get your story straight. You're the only person crying. You're the only person that's seen the envelope. I did not steal my own money. You have no way to prove that I stole the money, and you only have a story to say I stole the money. You didn't even say it to Steve or Jennifer that I stole the money, and you want to backtrack everything. Tempura, you were there with her. For some reason, you didn't want to say that she stole it because you didn't have a ride home back to Jersey. Both of you ladies are an hour away. Me and Jennifer came from North Carolina. Okay?
First of all,
came up here.
First of all, I did have a ride back home.
So why you couldn't accuse her of stealing the money?
Who stole money? You stole what money? Again, I'm not.
Okay, so you're saying what money?
Here's the reason why I didn't come on the show. Because you would have the propensity to make me lose it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to have you try to make me say anything. I want to know what happened.
The envelope, it had $1,000 cash in it?
Absolutely.
What kind of bills?
10 $100 bills.
Okay, so you had 10 $100 bills, $1,000. Did you take the envelope back?
No.
Okay.
Why would
And you believe one of these two women took it?
Yes.
Okay. Did you threaten them?
I was speaking out loud, Steve.
Okay.
Okay? When you're upset, okay, and it's, you know, it's two women, okay, and they're banging on my door saying that the money is missing. The first thing I said to Jennifer is that I don't have time to replace $1,000 because I knew for a fact.
Did you say anything about getting a gun?
I said out loud, if it was men here, we will take care of it differently.
Did you say anything about a gun?
Yes.
Why did you do that?
Because I was upset.
I know, but listen, everybody's upset, but like these are.
I didn't say I would put it to their head or shoot them or threaten them or nothing like that.
What is the implication if I say, hey, Bernard, you keep doing that, I'm going to go get a gun? What's the implication?
The implication is...
I'm going to shoot you.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Okay, come on. Bernard came here, and we gave him a lie detector test, and we asked him, did you take back the portion of rent money that you gave to Jennifer in an envelope? He answered no. Did you take the envelope that contained the rent money you gave Jennifer? He answered no. When you handed Jennifer an envelope, was there in fact exactly $1,000 in cash inside there for rent? He answered yes. Results came back all the same, and it came back that Bernard told the truth. Never. She said never. She would not take that money. Tampere, you came here and took a lie detector test, and we asked you, did you observe and touch the envelope that contained money inside of Jennifer's bedroom? You answered no. Did you take money that Jennifer hid under a pillow? You answered no. Do you know for sure who stole the missing money belonging to Jennifer? You answered no. Your results came back all the same, and it came back that Tampere told the truth. We asked Linda, did you touch an envelope that contained money inside Jennifer's bedroom? You answered no. Did you take the money that Jennifer hid under a pillow? You answered no. Do you know for sure who stole the missing money belonging to Jennifer? You answered no. Your results came back all the same, and they came back that Linda told the truth. So Jennifer took a lie detector test, and we asked her, do you know for sure where the missing $1,000 is? She answered no. Are you fabricating a story that someone stole from you in an attempt to get more money? She answered no. Did you look in the envelope and count what Bernard gave you to be $1,000? She answered no. Results came back all the same, and they came back that Jennifer did not tell the truth.
Can I see those results, Steve?
Sure, take a look at it. So, Linda, I gotta ask you, this is your goddaughter. First of all, she said, even before the results, hey, I think Linda stole the money, and Linda didn't steal the money, and here, she's the one failing the test. Do you still have a relationship with your goddaughter moving forward?
I never looked in the envelope.
No,
I never looked in the envelope. I don't need to steal any money. I still haven't found the envelope.
Well, then you should have plastered with fine colors. I'm done with your denials. You can get the hell off my stage. You know you gave her $1,000, right?
Yes, sir.
10 $100 bills. She looked in that envelope. She said, oh, I never looked in the envelope. She looked in that envelope right there. That question right there knows she's lying. She didn't just take that envelope, throw it here, never look at it. So you better be careful every month when you give her $1,000 cash for your sort of rent. Whether you want to like bury your head in the sand and say, oh, there's no way she lied. Everybody, you and these two ladies passed, she's lying about something. But that's up to you whether you want to believe her or not. Good luck to you. And I'm really sorry that money will end lifelong friendships, right? Mm-hmm. They will, the people that you can count on to have your back, you will end that for $1,000. To me, that is despicable, it's crazy, and it's her loss, not yours. Thank you very much. I'm glad to have you on the show. Take care, ladies.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Steve.
We recently covered a story about a young mother named Michelle. Her one-year-old son had been removed from her care after he suffered injuries that doctors deemed to be pediatric physical abuse. The child was diagnosed with a skull fracture and there were bruises on his chest. But this wasn't a typical case. You see, Michelle told CPS and the police that she struck her child with a bowl. But then she took it back. As I interviewed her, I could tell she had not been truthful with the police, and she wasn't being truthful with me. And my audience at home also noticed the signs of deception. As I always say, if your story stinks, it's probably not true. We kept tabs on this case, and today we have an update. But first, watch this and let us know if you see signs of deception.
I'm here today to find out if Michelle abused our 1-year-old son. Michelle's my fiance and I've been with her for a year and a half. About a month ago, our son was at a family member's home and she'd watch him all the time. She had noticed that there was a bump to his head, so she sent us the pictures. We looked at the pictures. There was nothing indicating that there was a bruise there. Our son stayed there for a weekend and we got him back on a Sunday. After we picked up our son from the family member, we had noticed a soft spot, so I rushed him to the ER. The doctor had diagnosed him with a fracture on his skull, and he had thumbprints on his chest and pants of somebody shaking him. The doctor said our son was a victim of a child abuse. When my son was removed from the home, I mean, it tore me up. I mean, it literally tore me up, and it still tears me up today. Michelle had stated to the police that she claimed that she hit our son with a bowl in the head. She had told me she lied, that the cops made her say that. And now we're here on the show today to find out the truth. Do I believe her or do I believe the family member? My son is being bounced from house to home to foster care. We have supervised visits 2 days a week, an hour a day, and that's all we get. If Michelle fails this lie detector test today, she's going to have to face what's coming to her. I can't stay with her if she has abused our son like this. It's not fair to him.
Michelle, do you think you're a good mother?
Yes.
Why do you think you're a good mom?
Because I make sure that my kids are well taken care of before even anything that I need.
How many kids do you have?
I have 2.
Yeah. But for today's purpose, we're going to talk about the youngest one,
Yes.
right? Now, you told CPS and the police that you hit your son with a ball.
Correct.
Did you hit your son with a ball?
No.
Why did you say that you did?
I was afraid, and I was in a room for 3 hours being interrogated by myself, and they literally told me that I had to figure out how it happened or people were going to jail.
So they said, you better tell us what happened or you're going to go to jail.
Yes.
And you didn't know what happened?
No.
So you said, I hit him with the ball.
Yes.
You thought that was a good idea?
No.
But you did it anyways.
Correct.
You regret saying that now?
Definitely.
After you said this to the police, did they charge you with the crime?
No.
Your son has a fracture in his skull, right?
Correct.
First of all, tell me, do you know how that happened?
I do not.
No idea.
No.
Whose care was he in when his skull was fractured?
A family member's.
Yeah. Why was the family member watching your son?
She would watch him here and there to give us a break to cool off and have that space.
You need cooling off?
My son is a lot to handle, so I take a couple day breaks.
You'd give your child to somebody for a couple days because he's too much to handle.
And she asks us to see him.
And how many days at a time would this person watch him?
2, that's it.
2. You don't think that's odd?
Yes.
What did you have to cool down from?
Stress.
Stress. As a new parent.
Yes.
Yeah, it's stressful, right?
It is.
Having a little baby?
It is.
I remember, I had 2 of them.
It's
I don't
rough.
remember handing my child off for a couple days at a time, though. Did they send you a text saying you need to take your son to the hospital?
Yes.
And what did you do?
We got him back on Sunday, and that's when we took him in.
When did they send the text?
Friday night.
And you went over there on Sunday?
Yes, because...
After she said your son needs to go to the hospital?
Yes, she's...
Why'd you wait 2 days?
Because when she sent the picture, there was no indication that he had any markings on
But
his
she's
head.
telling you he has an injury.
And she's had a history of lying to us before.
So you said, she's probably that our child has an injury.
Correct.
And you waited 2 days.
Correct.
And you think that's okay?
No.
That's normal?
No.
Then why'd you do it?
I was in shock and I didn't believe it.
You were in shock. Shock from what?
Hearing
A
that.
text?
Hearing that.
You went into shock from a text you read.
Correct.
Man, you're going to go far in this world. So did you take him on Sunday?
Yes.
You went to the hospital?
Yes.
What happened?
They transferred him to Grand Rapids Children's Hospital.
Because he had a skull fracture?
Correct.
So now you kind of wish you would have took him on Friday, right?
Correct.
When you heard the news that your son had a skull fracture, did you go in shock again?
It was hard to believe it, but
It's hard to hear that your son has a skull. How old was your son at the time?
He is 16 months old.
And how old was he when he got the skull fracture?
He was 15 months.
So a month ago.
Yes.
Your son has a skull fracture on the left side of his head with a large hematoma over it, and injuries were confirmed on a CAT scan. He has bruises under the breast area around the lower rib cages and several bruises on his head. The bruising on his body looks like it had come from someone grabbing him and shaking him. You ever shake your son?
No.
How about this person that was watching him? Did you say, hey, did you do this?
We've asked her and she denies it.
Yeah. But do you believe her?
I believe she had something to do with it
Why?
because she's had a history of sending him to us after watching him with bruises and blaming it on
So
my
you kept
niece.
sending him back anyways?
Not after this incident, no. She sent him back with bruisings and a bunch of mosquito bites that didn't look normal. And
But you kept sending him back
Yes.
regardless? Because you needed cooling off again?
correct.
Your story kept changing throughout the night. Rochelle reported on Thursday morning that your son was not listening, and it made you upset. Did you say that?
Correct.
What were you telling him?
I've told him to not play with the plugs and try
The
to grab
bugs?
the plugs,
Oh,
the
plug.
outlets.
Oh,
Yes.
the plugs.
Yes, he
You know,
takes
as an
pride.
adult, you're supposed to baby-proof your home, right?
I have.
Did you put the things that cover the
Yes,
electrical
he's
outlets?
learned how to pull those out.
And so what'd you do when you did that?
I told him that that was wrong, and I smacked him on the butt.
Smacked him on the butt. Did you push his head into a cupboard?
No.
Did you tell him that you did that?
Yes.
Again, why'd you do that if you didn't do it?
Because I was afraid
See,
that
the person
if
that
they
has a
did-
history of lying here is kind of standing on my stage, right? I mean, her story stinks, right?
Yes.
Does she ever lie to you in the past about this?
Yes, she has.
She's a liar. Why are you with the liar?
I thought she would change.
Yeah. And how many children do you have with her?
Just
Just this one. And your son, you know, you were taking him, your son, and handing him off to a family member, right?
yes.
Why were you doing this?
She got attached to him, and we
This
would,
family member got attached?
yes, and we'd let him go to her, and it wasn't about stress.
Yeah, but what about for a couple hours? I mean, what's this couple days stuff?
She'd ask for it. To
Yeah,
have him.
but I would, like, if somebody said, hey, can I watch your kids for 2 days? I'd say, no.
Yes. It would.
I mean, wouldn't
Yeah.
most people say, no,
True.
these are my children and I need to be with
True.
them. But again, you didn't think anything
No,
crazy about it
when I looked at
either.
the picture,
But
there
how
was,
about when you get the text saying, something's wrong with your son, he needs to go to the hospital?
at that point, yes.
Why
But
wait 2 days, though?
when I looked at the picture, it didn't look like there was anything wrong.
But you're not a doctor, are you?
No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
Right, I'm not a doctor.
No.
Like when I don't know, everybody's different, but like,
Yeah.
if my son I thought was ill, you know, especially when they're babies, I would think this is your first child?
No, I've got 3.
Okay. But so when you have babies in the past and they were ill, did you take them to the doctor?
Yes, I have.
Then why not this one? Did you raise your first child like that too?
No.
Why does this one get all that special treatment?
It's overwhelming with another
What
one.
is overwhelming in your life? And listen, I'm trying to be sensitive here. I'm not downplaying a mother with a child. Can be overwhelming. I understand. But, you know, explaining what happened does not make an excuse for it happening, okay? You could say, yeah, I felt overwhelmed, but it doesn't excuse your bad actions. Correct. You know, 15-month, can they even understand verbal commands? Some children maybe, some not.
Correct.
You know, squirming on a diaper table, what baby doesn't, right? Like they come with those lips so they don't fall off because they struggle. You got to grab the feet and they're kicking away. That's a normal thing, right?
Right.
Do you think that she injured your child?
Yes.
Did you tell the police that?
Yes, I told them.
How come she's not in handcuffs?
I don't know.
Do you have the patience to be a mom?
Yes.
You do?
Yes.
What if you, let me ask you this. What if you fail this lie detector test? Should you get your son back?
No.
Even you admit that.
Correct.
Do you think you're going to pass?
Yes.
Did you hand that child off with an injury to that other person?
No.
You said you're engaged?
Yes.
When's the big date?
There is no date right now after this.
After this?
Yes.
What if she passes?
Well, the one thing is you're going to get counseling. Some real good counseling.
Why you would...
This is no fair.
That sounds real nice. I don't believe it. Nothing against you, but why are you with such an older guy? I mean, he's like 25 years older than you.
We have a lot in common, and
You have a lot
I
in
fell
common.
in love with him.
What do you have a lot in common with?
We've been through a rough past, and we're
You've been
trying
through
to
what?
pull forward. We've had a rough past growing up and been through a lot, and we're trying to move forward.
And there's nobody younger, more your age, that you had a rough past that you can find?
No.
You can't find anybody.
No.
You had a child with somebody else.
Yes, I did.
Okay, so you did find somebody else at one time, right?
Thought I did.
Manuel, you came here, took a lie detector test, and we asked you, did you do anything to cause your one-year-old son's skull fracture? You answered no. Did you ever shake your one-year-old son? You answered no. Do you have any knowledge of anyone abusing your one-year-old son? You answered no. And the result for your lie detector test result is that you told the truth. First question, did you strike your one-year-old son with a plastic bowl? You answered no, and that came back inconclusive. Okay. No, that means we can't figure out if you're telling the truth or you didn't tell the truth. So, doesn't matter. It doesn't say you did it. We can't tell. Inconclusive. But then we did get two results for the next two questions. Did you do anything to cause your one-year-old son's skull fracture? You answered no. Did you shake your one-year-old son? You answered no. Those two came back the same, and it came back that you did not tell the truth. I honestly don't believe that you're evil. I don't want to believe you're evil. I don't think you're evil, but I think you did a really bad thing. And I think you need help.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have anybody to turn to?
No. I was raised in the foster care system all my life.
Yeah. I want to get you help.
Yes.
It's unfortunate, but sometimes when people are put in the system like you were, it kind of creates a cycle.
Yes.
And now your son's in the system. And I would love more than anything to stop that cycle with you and your son.
Yes.
I would encourage you when you go back, you talk to the police, try to remember, try to get help. You need to go back to a doctor,
Yes.
figure out what's going on, get you help. And I encourage, if there is anybody in your life that cares about you, somebody needs to, take you by the shoulder and say, you need to say goodbye to certain situations. You need some help. You need parenting classes, things like this. Maybe you go on your own for a while. Raise your children. You know, you need, when you think your child is sick, you take them to the hospital right away. You take them to the doctor, okay? Yes. I hope that you do steps to, you know, figure this out, make amends with what happened with your son, and so you can get him back, and that you can be a good mother.
Yes.
Okay? All right. You go off the stage here. You go off the stage here. The wheels of justice are turning in this case, and Michelle was arrested in February of 2024. She was charged with second-degree child abuse, a 10-year felony, and lying to a police officer, a 2-year misdemeanor. As of this taping, Michelle is currently out on bond, awaiting her next court date. We will continue to monitor this case and update you as more details emerge. Oh, and one more thing. Don't lie to me and don't lie to the police. Jackie and Tasheen have been together for 9 months, and she's already fed up with his constant cheating accusations. He believes she's been sleeping with the neighbors and says one day when he came home early, she was naked in bed as if she was waiting for another man.
Steve, I don't know what's wrong with that man. It's he's psycho to me. He bipolar or something. I don't know what it is.
You're dating a psycho.
I am. I really am. And it's really getting tiring. Like he said, I've been going through this 9 months, well, 8 months, because the first month was great. Yeah. It was wonderful. But after that first month, that man he started.
I don't know if you can say that.
I just don't know. He started sniffing my panties. He started.
What?
He think I go to work to have sex with men.
See, what's it like to be, you know, in your 40s dealing with this type of nonsense?
I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. I can't sleep sometimes. He wakes me up. It's like it's something in the back of his head telling him that you are doing it. And he presses the issue that I am doing it. And that's how he feels. He really feels like I'm doing it.
So when somebody's making all this crazy stuff up and they don't have a lot of evidence, it kind of makes me wonder what they're doing.
That's exactly right. That's what I be wondering too.
Okay. So you start dating.
Yes.
And it's good.
Wonderful 31st days.
Right. And then
I went to work and he wanted to sit on the phone. He bought me some earbuds. He wanted me to sit on the phone and hold the phone with him all day.
While you're working?
While I'm working. I can't do that. I'm trying to tell him.
Nobody can do that.
If I can't answer the phone, he gets mad. I can't do it.
What happened the day he came home and you were naked?
Oh, man, Steve, come on, Steve.
I mean...
I work at a restaurant. I go to work. They tell me I come home. Why would I want to get in the bed to wrinkle my clothes up? Right. So I pulled my clothes off to get in the bed.
Oh, you take a little nap?
Yeah,
to take a rest.
But I didn't. I was sitting on the side of the bed watching TV because, like, I just had woke up and went to work. I couldn't lay back down and go right back to sleep. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'm sitting up watching TV, but I want to be comfortable.
I mean,
and I
don't care what kind of state of dress you're in. If I'm coming home and you and me are dating, and whether you're naked, clothed, half clothed, I don't know why my mind would leap to, she's cheating.
No, his mind should have been leaping like, get in the bed and get you some. That's what his mind should have been.
He admits to being with 2 other women. Mm-hmm. Did you know about this?
He told me. Yeah. It didn't bother me. I don't care. We wasn't
While
together.
You were seeing it? Oh,
no,
you weren't
we went together.
Then why are you here?
I'm here to prove a point to him.
Yeah.
That's the only reason
why I'm here.
But
are you still together?
No, we've been separated this time since December.
Oh, so you've been broken up for a while.
Yeah, since December. I ran into him Friday.
And you said, hey, let's go to Stanford.
No, he said it. He said it. He called the show.
He wants you to prove yourself.
Yeah, he called the show.
But if I'm you, I'd be like, hell no. Why?
No, I want to do this. I want to make him look. I keep telling him every time I turn around, he's crazy.
Now, if you pass today.
When?
When you pass today. Do you think there'll be a chance that you guys get back together?
No.
You don't have feelings for him anymore?
I love him. I'm just not in love with him anymore.
So you don't want to get back?
No, last night was the last straw. In the hotel last night, we got into it.
Did you have sex last night?
No. No.
Damn.
No.
You're in this beautiful city, and you didn't have sex?
No.
Why not?
No. Because I was mad. He was mad, and he wanted to sleep on the floor, so that's why I left him at.
What'd you get in a fight about? We
was arguing about the phone. We both was sitting there playing on our phone. Something popped up in my Gmail. I hit it. He said, what is that? I said, TurboTax. He said, hold the hell on. Uh-oh. He said, hold on.
You can say how on TV.
He said, hold on. They just sent that to my phone too. You hacking my stuff too? You using my... I'm hacking his email, Steve. I'm using his name to get prepaid cards. Not real cards, prepaid cards. I'm hacking his accounts. I'm breaking into his bank account. That's the bank
So
thing.
let me ask you a question. When you were coming to Stanford and you were putting you up in the same hotel room, was there an expectation of sex?
We did have sex the first night.
Oh, so you did have sex.
The first night, just not last night.
So you've been here 2 nights.
Yeah, we've been here 2 nights.
All right, let's meet Tasheen.
Yeah,
So you gonna really come on this show
here.
and tell this man that I sniff
psycho.
your panties?
You do. My panties hot shit. Time.
Tell that man the truth. I looks in your panties.
It's still the same while you in my panties.
Because I can.
No, you can't.
What do you mean?
You can't. These are my panties.
I don't.
Tasha,
my life.
Tasha, I'm not finna do. I'm not.
Okay,
finna.
well, Jackie.
But either way it go.
Like I said. So why was you naked then?
Because I was sitting at home.
You know, in all my life, I've never, ever picked up another person's underwear and looked in them.
Well, Steve.
Never.
Well, Steve, I had my suspicions.
Yeah, but that behavior is weirdo.
Might be.
It is. It's
might
crazy.
be.
It's crazy.
I mean, why would you even go to that place?
Because he's crazy.
Well.
Okay. Tell me, and you got to give me really concrete evidence, why you think that she's cheating.
Honestly, I ain't really got no concrete evidence. It's just the past that I've been going through with women.
They ain't got nothing to do with me.
I'm talking to him.
They ain't got nothing to do with me. They ain't got nothing to do with me.
I'm talking to Steve.
They ain't got nothing to do with me.
I'm talking to
They
Steve.
ain't got nothing to do with me.
But again, every time I come around you, you'll be on your phone, then you hit the home screen, but so I couldn't see what's going on.
I don't hide nothing from you, Tachine.
You did cheat on her.
I ain't gonna say I cheated.
Well, I'm saying it.
No, I didn't. If I call you and ask you, are we still together, and you tell me no, and hang up the phone, I'm gonna consider we not together.
How soon after did you hang up the phone?
24 hours.
Steve, it doesn't
I know,
matter.
but just for me.
It doesn't matter.
How long after you hung up the phone did you sleep with somebody?
It was
3
the next
hours.
day.
Okay.
3 hours.
And she came to me.
Yeah.
3 hours.
Okay, Jackie came here, took a lie detector test, and we asked her, since being in a relationship with Tasheen, have you ever had any physical sexual contact or acts with any other men besides Tasheen? She answered no. Since being in a relationship with Tasheen, have you ever had sexual intercourse with any other man besides Tasheen? She answered no.
I'm waiting.
Were you expecting and waiting for another man the day Tasheen arrived home and found you naked? She answered no. Results came back all the same, and they came back that Jackie told the truth.
I told you. I told you. I told you. I told you. All that you put me through. I told you, though. I told you. I told you. No, I told you, though. I told you. I told you. All I wanted was you.
Okay.
Ever since I had you, all I wanted was you. I didn't need nobody else.
I apologize.
Kiss this.
I apologize.
I told you. You put me through all this for 9 months. I told you, though. I told you. The whole step, you put me out.
Okay, and I apologize.
You believe everything in the back of your head.
Don't be slapping my
In the back of your head. All this is back here.
Okay.
We didn't give him a test, did we? Oh, we
Yeah.
did.
Yeah, mine.
Yeah.
Watch mine.
Yeah.
Now, watch mine.
Did you get mine?
We're going to. Oh,
Look at
come
Steve.
on now.
Steve.
All right. Tasheen came here, took a lie detector test, and we asked him, since being in a relationship with Jacqueline, have you had physical sexual contact or acts with any other woman besides Jacqueline?
Look at me.
You answered no.
Okay.
Besides the 2 women Jacqueline is aware of, since being in a relationship with Jacqueline, have you had sexual intercourse with any other woman? You answered no. Results came back the same, and they came back that Tasheen did not tell the truth.
Woo! I knew it! I knew it! I knew it! I knew it! I knew it, Tasheen! I knew it! All that you put me through, I knew it! I knew it! I knew it! That's why you kept accusing me! I knew it! Woo! I knew it, Tasheen! I did! I knew it! I knew it!
Wow.
I knew it! That's why you kept accusing
good.
What? What? Get your time now. Yes, you did. This lie detector just said.
Jackie, don't come on this show doing
liar.
that. Don't put your hands on
You
me
liar.
now. Don't put your hands
You
on
a
me now.
liar.
Okay.
You a liar.
You have all these misgivings because of what's happened in your past, women that cheat on you. But now you get a good woman, and you screw it up by accusations, while you're cheating. You
got this.
Listen, here's the deal.
9 months.
You're not together now anyways.
Nope.
You broke up, and there's probably a good reason. Nobody wants to be in a relationship where you're accused all the time. And while he's accusing you, he's unfaithful.
Right.
So you know what? The best thing happened, you're not together. Good luck to you.
All right, Steve.
Lying in bed, and I asked him, I said, well, why do you have to see a probation officer? He says, well, I can't tell you right now. When the time is right, I'll tell you. One night, he let it slip and said what he was in trouble for. He said, the victim lied on me and got me sent to prison. She had lied and said that I had raped her. I said, a family member told me that you was charged with it. I said, I already knew. I just wanted to see if you would be man enough to tell me. My husband, Scotty, had went to prison. He served 8.5 years. I don't believe it because he never pressured me into sex or nothing like that. During all this charge and stuff, he had lost his CDL license and he has to register, and it's just all tearing him apart. And then when he can't see his grandbabies, that's what hurts him the most. Stacy won't let him be around the grandkids alone. But now she got to where she won't let him see them at all. It makes me feel awful. Because he wants to see them and she won't let him. And he loves them. We all love them, but she won't let him see them. Yeah, I do. I miss having a close bond with my daughter. We're not as close as we once was. When I married him, it's just like everything's fell apart again. I believe him. I'm gonna be with him because we married each other. That's my husband. I'm gonna believe him. I'm in this until death do us part, and I'm gonna ride with him all the way out with it.
Scotty, what were you charged and convicted with, and how much time did you serve?
I was charged with second-degree rape, and I did 8 years on a 15-year sentence for a crime that I did not even commit.
No. So you were innocent?
Yes, sir.
How come they picked you to charge?
My mother had actually dated a black guy back years ago, and during this time, they wanted me and my mother out of the picture.
So, because your mom dated a black guy, I'm trying to get the story right, your mom dated a black guy, you got sent to prison.
Yes.
So you get sentenced to 15 years.
Yes.
And this 11-year-old girl you didn't touch.
No, I did not.
Did you know her?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. That's got to be terrible if you're innocent and you're in prison for 8 years. You're sentenced to 15, but you do 8 years.
Yes.
And I got to imagine it's tough when you're convicted of abusing a child.
Oh, yes, it's horrific in there. I mean, it's terrifying.
Yeah.
I've seen people killed because of this. I've seen people where they've been raped because of this in prison.
Yeah. Ugh.
And I've actually fought for my life in there as well.
I don't doubt it. And you maintain that you never did this.
Yes.
How do you find out that you're being charged with it?
I was dating this girl. She had 2 children, and we were sitting in her living room, me, her, and 2 children. We were watching a movie when she gets a knock on the door. It's DHR, Department of Human Resources. And they call her outside and talk to her first. And then they call me outside and tell me that that I was being accused of raping this girl when I knew nothing about it.
So they locked you up?
Several months afterwards, yes. My lawyer was a court-appointed lawyer. I believe that the victim and her family were in cohorts with him.
In front of the judge says, are you pleading guilty? And what'd you say?
I was not even in front of the judge.
You never saw a judge?
No, I did not.
They just threw your ass in prison?
Yes, sir.
You never
pretty
saw
much.
a judge?
No, sir.
Judge
Besides
didn't
of
say, are
the-
you pleading guilty? And you didn't say, yes, Your Honor.
No, I did not.
They just took you from your cell and took you to prison?
The only time I seen a judge was during a preliminary hearing.
And you never saw him again?
No, I did not.
That'd be the first time I ever heard that happening. First time ever. Because usually the judge is making sure that you're pleading guilty. Somebody might have forged your name. That's why they do it. They say, hey, Scotty, do you plead guilty? Yes, Your Honor. Do you do it voluntarily? Has anything promised you? No, Your Honor. Okay, 15 years in prison. You're saying you never got that?
No, I did not.
Now, what state is this?
Alabama.
Oh, man, don't do that down there. So now you get out and you're a registered sex offender, right?
Yes, sir.
It's got to be tough, right?
It is.
All kind of rules and things that you can and can't do.
Right.
And supposedly at some point you weren't really allowed to be around Stacy's kids, right?
I could be around children as long as I was supervised.
Okay. And they said that you were around them by yourself?
Yes.
Okay. Were you?
For about 10 minutes.
You ever sexually molest the kids?
No.
Yeah. But you never raped the girl you were convicted of?
No.
Okay. And Ellie's your wife?
Yes.
Where'd you meet her at?
Me and her actually met 30 years ago. We were high school sweethearts.
And then after you get out of prison, you reconnect?
Yes.
And did you tell her, hey, I went to prison for raping a girl?
I didn't at first. It took me a little time to actually tell her, which she had already knew through some family members.
Word spreads.
Yes.
So when she finds out, then and you talk about it, she believed you because you told her I didn't do this, honey, and
Right,
she believed
and
you.
she believed me.
And then you got. You know, the one thing I found interesting on the tape, you said he never makes me or pressures me to have sex.
No, when we were dating, he never pressured me into having sex. He never pressured me into anything. He just told me, he said, when you're ready, he said, you know, let me know and we'll have sex.
What does that have to do with anything with the story?
And then when he went to telling me, you know, I didn't believe that, you know, he did anything like that because he never pressured me.
Raping an 11-year-old child.
Yes.
You know that's a little different than your situation, right?
When we were dating, I mean, I never believed that he would do nothing like that.
Why is that?
Because he didn't me. I mean, he never
but you're
tried.
a grown woman.
Yeah, well, at the time we wasn't. At the time we wasn't grown. We were children ourselves.
He never raped you as a child.
No, we did. He did not.
But I'm saying, as an adult, when he gets out of prison, you start dating.
Yes.
Okay. And what if he fails?
If he fails, I'm still not leaving him.
Because well, one, let me say it like this. If he fails, he did his time.
Yes, if he failed, to me he did his time.
It's not like we're discovering he touched.
Yes.
You knew going in, getting married,
Yes.
I'm marrying a registered sex offender.
Yes.
I love the registered sex offender.
Yes.
My wife called the show because her stepfather was charged with rape. He spent 8 years in prison. I've only known him for a few months. I haven't seen any questionable behavior that made me think that he would do such a thing. And my kids, they love him to death. They call him Papa. Every time he has to leave, they cry, they throw a fit, and it breaks my heart seeing that. And much as it hurts me, I can't let them be around him until I know the truth. Me or my wife asked my oldest one if he's ever touched him. She says no, but we've had him tested just to make sure that he didn't. And if he fails for touching either one of my kids, then I don't ever want to see him again. I don't want any of my family to see him. Sometimes the grandmother wants to come get the kids, and we have to make sure that he is supervised around them at all times. And it's affecting my wife and her mother's relationship severely. They get into it, and it hurts both of them. Until I know he passes his test, he cannot be around my kids.
Did you know he was a convicted rapist?
At first, no. But then
When
I
did
kept
you find out?
kept hearing stories and kept hearing stories, and then eventually I found out.
Yeah. Did that make you uncomfortable, him being around your kids?
Yes, very.
Yeah, I got to imagine, yeah, I'd be like, damn.
Yeah, it hurt when they got took from us.
Yeah. It had to be terrible getting your kids taken away for 90 days, right?
Yes.
Young mother, boom, kids taken away. That's got to be horrible. Let's find out. So we broke up your test into two parts, whether the incident that happened that you were convicted of, and then with your children. The first part is the girl that you were convicted of. We asked you, did you engage in any physical sexual contact with a minor child at any time for which you were convicted in 2009? You answered no. Did you enter the bedroom of a minor child and engage in physical sexual act with her? You answered no. Are you the person who committed the sexual acts on the minor child in which you were charged and convicted on in 2009? You answered no. The results came back the same to each one of those three questions, and it came back that Scotty did not tell the truth.
What? No! Trying to take my family away from me?
I don't care about you.
Well, hey.
Hold on. Two-part test. Hold on, two-part test. Then we ask about your children. Did you ever engage in any inappropriate physical sexual acts with Stacy and Drew's youngest daughter for your own sexual gratification and pleasure? You answered no. Did you ever engage in any inappropriate physical sexual acts with Stacy and Drew's oldest daughter for your own sexual gratification and pleasure? You answered no. The results came back the same to each of those two questions, and it came back that Scotty told the truth.
Trying to tell y'all.
So am I still trying to pin you down?
At least one part of it's the truth. The other part's not even the truth.
Okay. Hey, Scotty, don't walk off. Come on. Here's the deal. I think you committed a terrible, heinous act 15 years ago. And you went to prison. And you got 8 years. Is that enough? That's not enough for me to decide. But that's what the judge or whoever decided that was good. You get out. Now you got a wife. You got daughter-in-law. You got son-in-law. You got kids that look at you as grandfather. And you're not abusing them. Doing good. Maybe you're making the most out of your second chance. I think you did what you did back in 2009, and you went to prison and you got punished. Does it change anything for you?
No, not with that.
You love him.
I love him, and, at the time, I believed him. I mean...
But now you believe her?
But yes.
Okay.
I'm just glad he passed for the kids.
Yeah. But, put it this way. That is a really good thing, because nobody wants their kids abused. But now me, as the former policeman who can never get that out of my blood, why take the chance that he's reformed? Hey, he gets a second chance. He's out. But around my kids, no way. Are you still unhappy with the results, Scotty? Yeah. You said we're doing the same thing as Steve. If I really wanted to sandbag you, wouldn't I say you're molesting his kids? I would do that, right? I'd say, man, this guy, let's get him. Let's get him. Let's put him back in prison. But we proved you're not touching anybody now, right?
No, and I didn't touch nobody back then either.
Well, if you want anybody to believe that story, you need to tweak it a little bit, okay? You need to stop telling that thing where you didn't see the judge and all that, because that, okay? Nobody is going to believe that. That's a lie. Okay. You ready to take your man and go live the rest of your life with him?
Yeah.
See ya. Chastity was here just a few months ago trying to figure out who stole $3,000 from her, her sister or her man. But even though the audience thought her man, Kobe, was the one with sticky fingers, it turned out her sister was the thief. Well, today, Chastity is back for more help, this time to find out if Kobe has been cheating on her. Did your sister ever admit to taking the money after the show?
No, we still haven't talked at all. I just do for her kids. Like, I'm a big kid person, so I'm always going to be there for her kids, but
You don't have any conversation with her at all?
She's called me a few times, but block list. My block list is real strong.
Yeah. And she didn't say, hey, I'm really sorry, I did take the money.
She doesn't have the space to speak to me at all.
Yeah. All right.
And that's where Tacoby's going to be if he fails this test. I don't have any room in my life for anything.
That was at Christmas time that you were on the show and all this money was stolen. Did your son get the gaming system?
Yes, he did. So I have a specific message sent from him to you, and I told him I would deliver it to you personally. He said, thank you. Thank you so much. His Christmas was joyous. He's able to play with all of his friends. And I even sent a picture in for you guys to have for him to give you in October. So there it is.
Oh, there you go. Now you're here because Tacoby, you think that he's been cheating.
I've been suspecting this for a while, even before we came on the show, but ever since...
You didn't want to wear us out with one show.
I didn't want to overwhelm you guys with my baggage, because it's a lot. But it's been getting a lot worse. Like, even last night, he was texting a woman on Snapchat that I don't know, and he swears up and down, I know these people. Steve, I don't know these women.
He is a big, tall, good-looking guy. He's drinking.
You know, you're drinking after work.
He sticks around and drinks afterwards.
Yeah. If the bar closes at 2, there's no reason you should be coming home at 5 smelling like Jameson, like you just dipped yourself in the bottle. There's no reason. I told him that if there's any cheating going on, I'm not tolerating that, so we will be separating. He asked me if I was willing to do couples therapy.
So he asked for couples therapy. He did?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, does he kind of know what's going to happen here today?
I'm pretty sure he knows what's going to happen. I just think that this was kind of the icebreaker.
So would you be open, like if he fails today, would you be open to the fact that he's cheating, but he'd like to work it out?
Yeah, but you're still getting out my house.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'm not going to be around you. We're going to go to therapy in separate cars.
That's the price you pay when you get into a semi-celebrity.
And honestly, thanks a lot, Steve.
All right, here he is, Mr. Semi-Famous.
What you said, I can't have friends?
No, you can't have friends.
I come home to you every night.
If I have friends, if I go out and I
beefing.
befriend anybody at my job, you are going to lose your and you know it. So don't do that friend thing. I am more friendlier than you, so why don't I have regulars? Where is my lineup? I don't got no starting team. I don't have nobody that texts me hours in the night. Literally just last night, you're up texting. You didn't work yesterday. You had 3 different women text your phone.
They was checking on me.
Oh, so we should have check-ins. That's what we're doing. We
if
just
you
have a
step in the
check-in
bar,
relationship.
you don't see me there, and I'm supposed to be there every day.
Why are they looking for you? Why are they checking for you?
I
I'm
keep
the only
everybody
woman
safe.
that's supposed to be checking for you. I don't care who it is.
It ain't that deep. You ain't innocent either.
It's never, and I never said that, Steve. Let me start off by saying I am not an innocent person, but I've worked really hard this past year to be transparent,
What does that mean, I'm not innocent?
Right, tell him.
I've cheated in the past. I've lied in the past. It took me a long road to get to where I am.
When's the last time you cheated?
2 years ago.
Okay.
I'm sorry, boo, but on and off, guys. On and off.
Yeah. Okay, first of all, we wanted to know, well, the audience wanted to know, after the show, would you be willing to sign autographs?
Yeah. I got a nice signature, man.
Anybody willing to be regulars in here?
No. Now, my question for you is, even though I had people I knew coming into the bar, girls, this and that, once I got home, nobody was contacting me and like, hey, Steve, are you okay? You know.
That's how I feel.
I understand that, but I get off at 3, come home, she sleep, I'm up.
She's waiting for you.
Some nights I wait up for him and he smells like the distillery. Is that the word I would use? Exactly that.
You're having a few drinks when you're at work.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. After a long shift, people acting a fool, fighting.
As I said, I work in security as well. I work for the cannabis dispensary, so I wish that I can have fun on my job.
You work security?
Yes. I've been doing security for 5 years.
Don't let the size fool you, man.
I hired him in the job that he has.
Wait, you're like stopping somebody from doing something?
Steve, I got you from the ankles down. What's up?
You've been with her a long time.
Yeah.
You ever fool around?
No.
When's the last time you fooled around?
We know we be off and on, so.
Yeah.
About maybe a week ago.
A week ago?
She told me she was done with me and left.
Yeah, so we broke up for 6 days. We often have 6 days.
But in 6 days, if we're together for 17 years and we break up for 6 days, am I running out the door to sleep with somebody else?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
You think, okay, she's mad. Let me give her a few days to cool off, right? You know. Okay, Jacoby, you came here, took a lie detector test. Have you ever engaged in any physical sexual contact or sexual flirting with any of the women you met at the bar? And he said yes. And he told the truth. Jacoby admitted this past Friday he had intercourse with a woman he also slept with 1 month ago. Jacoby stated this past Saturday he also kissed another woman from the bar.
Okay. I don't even want to look his way because I feel your security and I am about to pounce. You ready?
As you can see, our security is a little slow.
He got it, he got it.
Okay.
I'm glad I packed out his 6 days ago. You know what I'm saying? It was already out the house.
Oh my God. I was feeling bad for you for a second ago. Chastity admitted that she has cheated on Jacoby, going to a hotel in January to have intercourse with one man and sexual acts with another man within the year.
Right.
You know, there's times in our lives when a relationship has just run its course.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you're both young and attractive people. And I'm sure you'll do well being single, attractive people. You know, you've been together 17 years.
Yeah.
Me personally, okay, this is me. I can't imagine being with my girlfriend from high school, okay? Like, and only have been with her since high school? Like, come on, man. You're not all in.
No.
And you're not all in either. And there's nothing wrong with it. I'm not saying either one of you doing anything wrong, but to have the friction between the two of you and the heartache, and I know you have a child together, right? You have a little daughter? Or, yeah. So, you know, you're always going to be tied to some extent together. But there's nothing wrong with saying, hey, you know what? We've been together a long time. You know, 17 years, it's been great. But, hey, let's do our own thing for a while. Right?
I don't have a problem with that. I'm just more so, I just need my space. Between my sister and this, it's just a lot. I'm very overwhelmed. I'm very drained. I feel like I'm in a world alone. I can't trust anybody. I'm not the greatest person, and I said that, but you're not going to play with me.
But you're not a bad person.
You're not going to play with me.
Yeah. And you know what? Sometimes being alone is good. Not having to answer to anybody, not having to worry about anybody. I mean, you're a mom. You're always going to be worrying. Yeah. But you know what I'm saying. Maybe you missed out on some of that because, like, when I was in my 20s, you know, I had my own apartment, had a job, and I didn't have to answer to anybody, and I could do whatever I wanted. It was, I loved it, you know. And maybe both of you kind of missed out on that a little bit. I hope it works out down the line for you either way, okay?
Thanks, Steve.
Nice seeing you, man. Very nice seeing you.